Welcome and welcome back everybody, Tia here, and in today's video we are going to be doing a solo playthrough of Orchard, a 9-card solitaire game designed by Mark Tuck and most recently published by Cyber Games. During the playthrough I'll give a tutorial on how this game is played, and be sure you stick around for the end of the video where I'll share some of my thoughts about the game in general. So here we have a solo game of Orchard set up and ready to play. In this game we are going to be overlapping cards and placing dice to create the most fruitful orchard. To start first setup, we will shuffle the 18 cards and put them in a stack face down, drawing 9 cards and removing the other 9. If you do have a copy that has double-sided cards and 9 cards total, then you'll simply flip and rotate and shuffle them until you have a 9-card deck. The first card will be flipped over to form the start of your orchard, and then you'll draw the next 2 cards to form your starting hand. After that, you'll place out the 5 dice of each of the 3 types, apples, pears, and plums, and then we have our 2 rotten fruit tokens. So on your turn, you're going to take one of the 2 cards that you have in your hand and place it over one of the cards that you have previously placed in your orchard. When you do that, you have to match at least one type of tree. So here we have a plum tree and a plum tree. If this is the first time you're doing so, you will receive 1 point and place the die of the matching type of fruit on top of it. Later on, if we go back in, you will increase that to 3, 6, and eventually possibly 10 points for that single placement. Up to twice per game, you can also place a non-matching tree. When doing so, you'll remove any of the dice that have been previously placed there and place a rotten fruit token in its place. Now this means 2 things. Number 1, you can no longer overlap or interact with this space. And number 2, each rotten fruit token that you place will be worth -3 points at the end of the game. And that's really all you need to know to get started playing. So let's just jump into our first turn here. I am seeing some double yellows and things like that. Ooh, okay, we have all 4. So we have 2 pears, a plum, and an apple, which we can place over our 2 pears, plum, and apple. We'll go ahead and do that. I think that's a really strong start. Put a little baby pear, little baby pear tree, little baby apple tree, and a little baby plum tree. Sweet. All right, we'll draw our next card. So we always have a hand of 2 cards. We're simply gonna go through this until we play all 9 cards. So this game moves pretty quickly. Okay, and okay, we can get another placement of 4 here. So since these 2 pairs match, we'll do that. They'll turn into 3s. We'll also get another little baby plum tree and another little baby apple tree. All right, cool. Let's see, my mind immediately goes to the doubles. It's hard for me to spatial reason and rotate cards in my brain. So that's, I mean, we could do this. We could also do this. We could do both eventually. Let's start with this one since it overlaps 4. So these 3s will become 6s. These 1s will become 3s. Guys, this game is rigged. 100%. You heard it here first. I'm just kidding. These are just really good placements. A lot of the double cards, but each card is unique, so that luck is going to run out here very shortly, I'm sure. Okay. Ooh, so we could get a 10. I'm also seeing this placement. Yellow, red, purple, purple, red. I think we'll do that. So this 6 will become a 10. This 3 will become a 6. We have 2 new apple trees. Now, if there's ever not the right value die or right color die to place, you simply don't get to place a new die there and start a new baby tree. Okay. It's looking pretty good so far, not gonna lie. I don't want to jinx it, but I have some high hopes here. Let's do this placement from before. The 6 becomes a 10. 1 becomes a 3. We'll place our last little baby apple tree, and we'll get a plum tree as well. Speaking of, which of these 3 types of fruits is your favorite, or do you have a different favorite fruit? I personally like apples. Plums are okay, depending on, like, you know, the firmness. And pears are just gross. I'm gonna be honest. They taste sandy. I mean, I've seen a lot of episodes of My Strange Addiction where people like gritty sand rock taste, but that is not me. So pears are out, unless it's a Korean pear. Have you ever had a Korean pear? They're absolutely delicious. Highly recommend. They're very crunchy and very juicy. They're almost like a hard, crunchy watermelon. Not hard, but a crunchy watermelon. And they're equally as juicy, but they're also very sweet. I don't know. They're 10 out of 10. We'll make a Korean version that has Korean pears in it. Mandu Games. I don't know. Any other Korean publishers want to pick this one up? All right, let's see. I see my double purples and my brain is getting stuck on that. I could technically place it here, but I would have to place 2 rotten fruit tokens. Since these two don't match, even my brain really wants them to. Since I see the colors, they're just rotated ever so slightly differently. Another thing we could do are 2 purples. These are rotated the incorrect way as well, so that's not going to be an option. We do have a red, a purple, and a yellow, which we could place over here. That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world since we don't have a lot of pear trees. So I think we'll go ahead and do that. You get a 6, a 3, and a 1. I don't think we'll be able to get another 10, but that might be okay. Ooh, and this is our last card, so we are already almost done here. Let's see. Ah, no, come on. Okay, we could get 2 more 10s. Plus 1 minus 4. I think mathematically that works out pretty well. Is there another placement we can do that would be better? Not that I'm seeing, so we're just going to go for it. So this plum will upgrade to a 6. This will upgrade to a 10. This doesn't match since we are placing an apple on top of a pear. So this will get discarded back into our reserve. We'll go ahead and take a rotten fruit token and place it there instead. And go ahead and place this here. And we have our last card placement, so let's make it count. I'm not seeing anywhere we can put this. It would be so great if we can put it here, or here, or here. Those are all not options. The yellow, nope. Red, purple, no bueno. Let's see, of course it's our last card and I can't find any good placement for it. I mean, I guess we could get 2 3s here. Not the most exciting finale, but it might have to do. Yellow, oh, we could go up here, but we don't have any purples left, so that would be 1, 2, 3 points as opposed to 4 points here. I think we'll go ahead and finish off with a nice relaxing 2 placement. So this will become a 3, and this will become a 3. All right, so it's time to move on to scoring. We are going to count up the number of pips shown on our dice, subtract any negative fruit tokens, and then reference with our little score chart here to see how we did. For reference, before we jump into it, the lowest score you can get is below 25, which is paltry, and our highest score is 55 plus, which is almost impossible. Take a bow. So let's see how we did. I'm gonna start by pulling out the 10. So we have 10, 20, 30, and continuing with our metric scoring, we have another group of 10, 40, 50. These will cancel each other out. We have 52. Whoa! So we are close to pear-fect for this play of Orchard. So that is a playthrough of Orchard, a 9-card solitaire game. This is such a great little treat of a game. There's so much packed into this tiny little box here with just 18 cards, 15 dice, and 2 tokens. I think that this is one that I originally had as a print and play when it was in between printings after the first Kickstarter for it. and it was one that I played just all the time. Really, if you're playing, especially off camera, you can play it in literally just a couple of minutes, but the decisions and how you overlap the tiles really satisfies that tiling pattern kind of reasoning, which I personally really enjoy, even if I'm not always the best at it. This one is a really great one. It's easy to teach as well. If you have multiple copies, you probably noticed in the playthrough that the cards are all numbered, which means that you can play with as many people as you have cards for and do a challenge type style to see who can score the most points based on the number of cards that you get for that particular game. So this is a really fun one. I've played it at 2 with another copy with friends. They also have monthly challenges up on Board Game Geek, so there's a really fun community that surrounds this game. And speaking of Board Game Geek, if this game is not available in your region or country or is out of stock, fear not. There is a free print and play up on Board Game Geek for this one. You really only need 1 sheet of paper if you do 9 cards double-sided, or 2 sheets if you want the full 18 cards for variability. So I will put the link down in the description for that if you want to check it out and try it. But I definitely recommend picking up a copy. This print from Sideview Games is really high quality. I love the unique pips on the die faces and the colors and everything. I think it's just a fantastic little package. So if you're looking for a solo game that has a lot of replayability, that's very puzzly but plays very quickly and is easy to learn, I would definitely recommend picking up a copy of Orchard, a 9-card solitaire game. That's all the time we have for today. If you liked this video or found it helpful, please feel free to leave a like. You can also subscribe down below for more board game content. Thank you again, as always, so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye.